Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show, where we help you make the wisest and most profitable decisions. Today we'll talk about a surprisingly controversial issue, whether you should invest in the work from home office of employees, whether companies should do that when their workers are working in a remote setting or in a hybrid setting. Should they invest in the work from home office of employees? Now, the reality is that employees have a lot of challenges with their equipment when they're working from home, with video, with audio, and other issues. And this is not just coming from me. Now, I helped 24 companies transition to figuring out their work from home policies, hybrid work, flexible work. Usually it's a hybrid first model. Some people are coming into the office some of the time and spending some time at home. And I've seen this be a serious problem. But it's not simply me. There was a Logitech study recently of 3,000 employees and 1,000 IT decision makers, and it found that most employees struggle with home office technology. With video, 89% struggle. With audio, 85% struggle. Those are huge numbers. And less than 40% received accessories from their organizations other than mice and keyboards. So that's not great, because these are really important issues for people to get right, their video and their audio. The struggles really aren't surprising. CFOs are pretty reluctant to spend on the home offices of employees. They feel that while it's the home office of the employee should fund their own equipment. And so IT and facilities directors aren't really given the funding or the mandate to support home office technology ergonomics. And those are both issues. So I focused on video and audio as technology, but of course ergonomics is important, how comfortable employees are in their office. Now here's the reality. Like I said, I've helped many companies make this transition. Most employees are simply not willing to pay for their home office equipment. They feel it's the company's responsibility, and so they end up being less productive, less comfortable, and less impactful, less effective than they could be because they don't have the right equipment. So over 2/3 of my LinkedIn survey respondents, I ran a large survey on LinkedIn, said that employers should cover costs. Many employees are not willing to pay for any equipment. They're just using company equipment, even if it's uncomfortable and not effective. And this has a large impact. Issues with technology and ergonomics lead to reduced productivity, harm well-being, and with well-being, it's physical discomfort from lack of ergonomic furniture and mental discomfort, so harming mental well-being because of the appearance of camera, of how they appear. And this undercuts staff retention due to frustration of not having the necessary equipment. You'd be frustrated too if you didn't have the right equipment and if you felt that your employer is not providing you with the right conditions in which to work, right? You could see that. Now what's the impact? What's the impact of poor video quality? Well, what it does, it harms collaboration and communication alike. It doesn't affect only employees, but also external stakeholders like clients, vendors, investors, everyone to whom employees might communicate. And sales can be lost because of poor equipment, because of poor camera, poor audio. The Logitech study found that 37% of the respondents actually hold video calls with clients. And you know what? That results in poor customer satisfaction and lost sales. Hybrid work, we see, is clearly the future. The EY Work and Reimagine employer study showed that 79% of companies are switching to some modality of hybrid work, having people spend part of their time in the office and part of their time at home. The majority of work is going to be done from home offices, the head-down focused work, video conference meetings and so on, because the office is a place for collaboration, for socializing, for mentoring, for training, for conversations, but it's not a place to hold video conference calls with your clients. Much better to do that at home. There's no need to take an hour-long commute or 2-hour-long commute to the office and then have video conference with clients and then go back home. That is not a good use of time in the office. Video conferencing is much better done from home. And other sorts of activities, individual head-down work, much better done from home. Emails, Slack communication, Microsoft Teams messages, much better done from home. That's why it's imperative to invest in staff work from home offices. Staff concerns are confirmed by the Logitech study. So what I've seen, those staff concerns that I've observed. Valuable work time is wasted figuring out technology issues. 64% report struggling with poor or inadequate lighting in their homes, 60% have poor sound quality for their computer speakers, 58% need to sit in uncomfortable positions for their cameras, 53% even check speakers if microphones working, they're not confident about them, and 41% fiddle with the camera angle before meetings. And of course, you should never be doing that. You should have your camera set up and speakers and microphones always set up the way that they need to actually go. Now, the initial transition to remote work, the Logitech study suggests, is that companies told staff to grab whatever they could from the office. And that's kind of understandable. Companies were unfortunately not very prepared for remote work. And IT departments adopted a reactive posture. They focused on responding to concerns, solving tickets, not being proactive, and actually getting ahead of the problems. So employees don't really feel empowered as a result. They feel, okay, grab this stuff. They don't feel empowered to reach out to IT, to facilities about problems in their home office. They assume the equipment they've been given is the right equipment, best available, and so they keep using it, even though it causes them serious issues. IT departments may not even know that better options exist of equipment, and they may not even know about employee concerns if they don't do surveys around them. Now, let's think about another department, HR. HR is responsible for talent management. So they are really responsible for optimizing employee productivity, well-being, and collaboration. And so they should be the ones who are leading the charge for worker home office support. So you need to think about it. Ask your HR department what the costs are of absenteeism due to repetitive strain injury, eye strain, migraines, issues like this. So the cost of equipping home offices is small compared to employee absence, and we're not even talking about worker low productivity, worker poor collaboration with their colleagues, with clients, with vendors, poor communication. So this is a huge issue. And I'll tell you about a case study of a company that had it right. So this is one of my clients, the Information Sciences Institute at the University of Southern California. And so what they did is that they surveyed staff to determine their needs and concerns. So when I started consulting for them, I encouraged them to survey the staff to determine what they need, what their concerns are, and encouraging staff suggestions on solutions, what has worked well for different staff members that we can then spread throughout the organization. The IT and facility staff researched various market options based on the survey results, so we worked to figure that out, and they got standardized equipment for home offices that the IT department was comfortable that it could support, and that they could get better prices on than if the employees were just given a stipend and got the equipment themselves. And this was determined by the initial list of equipment supported by IT and facilities. And they share the list with the staff, so we share the list with the staff members, revised it based on their feedback. Next, we implemented the strategy. We purchased and shipped equipment to employee homes, and for those who needed it, we arranged home visits for equipment assistant and technology and furniture assembly assistants. We developed a policy for staff leaving the organization so that they could donate bulky furniture that we really couldn't take back because it wouldn't be cost prohibitive. We didn't want them to get stuck with the IRS bill, so we just told them to donate it. And we can't control what they do afterward, but at least the IRS is not in our backs for, well, you have to expense it, the stuff that you send them. We also covered the costs of fast broadband for staff. So this is a really good approach. This is a best practice. This is what you should be doing. And this, again, let me reiterate, the Information Sciences Institute at the University of Southern California is a great example. That's something you can do. You can also choose to pay for, if you don't have as robust IT department, facilities department, one that can support staff in their work from home, can support their tech needs, you can give them a stipend too. That's also doable. Definitely some of my clients do that who had less of a robust approach. So, let me reiterate. Investing in home offices of employees is critical. Most work done by employees in their individual head-down work and in their interactions with clients, with prospects, with colleagues from inside the company, that the asynchronous communication, that's done from home offices. There's no need to go, and of course video conference calls, no need to go to the office to do so. Again, the office is very important for synchronous, more intense forms of collaboration, for nuanced conversations, for mentoring and training and socializing, team bonding and broader forms of socializing. But the other stuff, these sorts of activities take up maybe 10, 15, 20, 30% of an employee's time. Most activities that the employees are doing are done from their home office. So it's really important to invest into it. So most employees, we just see, the evidence shows they won't buy quality tech and furniture. And failing to invest in the home offices of employees leads to loss of productivity, decreased employee well-being, higher turnover, reduced collaboration and communication. And as a result, it has a negative impact on your bottom line. And that's why you should really be investing in the home offices of your employees. All right, everyone. I hope you've benefited from this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps others discover the show and it helps us improve the show. All right, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. In the meantime, the wisest and most profitable decisions to you, my friends.